I've been doing outreach for 4 months now. And in that time, I've gotten a few free clients, but I've not gotten any paid clients. And so in this video, I'm going to be showing the strategies I've been using for outreach, what has worked, what has not worked, and where exactly I'm getting. So let me start immediately. First of all, I've been doing my outreach with cold email. That is like the main channel I've been using. And this is what I do. First of all, to generate the lead list, that's the people I'm going to be prospecting, I go to Apollo and Apify. So Apollo is this sales software where you can get a lot of emails of companies. So I go there and I search for the niche that I actually want to get to. For example, if I'm searching for recruiting agencies, I just type recruiting agencies, I get a lot of leads. And then I take the link of Apollo and I paste it into Apify, which is this lead scraper. So it then scrapes a lot of leads for me. So it scrapes about 100 at a time because that's a particular actor that I'm using. And then when I get those ones, then I start outreaching to them and then I start sending my messages and everything. So the messages that I send, I actually send about 30 to 40 emails a day on average. So sometimes it's 20, sometimes it goes up to 60. But on average, that's the normal amount that I send. And when I send an outreach, when I hit somebody for the first time, before when I first started out in outreach, I would just follow up about 3 times and then I'll stop. But then I watched a video from this guy, Charlie Morgan. So he's this big guy on YouTube that knows everything about outreach. He's a very great guy. So he said that when you outreach to somebody, you're meant to follow up up to 6 times. And if the person replies, then you're meant to follow up even up to 10 times because now the person has demonstrated some buying intent. And so what I did is I started following up to 6 times with each person. So this is how I structured the follow-up. So some of them are just very short one-liners. So I'll be like, "Hi Bridget, did you see my last email? Hi Bridget, what do you think about my last email?" I'll just be sending those one-liners. And then in between, I'm going to be sending some of those one-liners, but I'm going to add a sticker with them. So I can add a sticker I'll just put some of them on the screen now. I'll just add a sticker that relates to them replying to my email. And the purpose of the sticker is that it interrupts the pattern of what I'm doing. So if I'm just sending just one-liners every time, they'll get tired and eventually tell me to just shoo off. But because I'm sending a sticker with it, then it's going to break the pattern and some of them are going to be incentivized to reply and everything. So that's what I'll be doing for follow-ups. And now another thing I do with my emails is that I always send emails with a video. So a long video. And this is how I structure the video. Normally, when I first started out, I think a year ago, when I first started just playing with this entrepreneurship stuff, I'll send a video, but I'll send just a generic video introducing myself, and then I'll send it to these people and I'll expect them to reply and see some value in it. But with time, I've realized that these people don't actually, they can actually sniff when you didn't make something for them, and they don't like it that much because they have seen a lot of things like this before. And so here's what I did. I know that since I'm sending 30 to 40 emails a day, I cannot sit down like this and be recording 30 videos for each person every day. That's just unrealistic for me and my constraints right now. So here's what I did. I would record a talking head video of myself like this. So I would record myself like this, but I'll come closer to the camera so it looks like if I'm doing an actual video. And then I'm going to now go to their website. So I'm going to open 20 websites at a time. And then for each of the websites, I'll do a screenshot of the person's webpage so the person can see his website. And then I'm going to combine the talking head video of me together with the screenshot of the person's webpage. So I'm going to just show a demo on the screen now. So that's what I do, and I stitch 2 of them together. So it looks as if I actually went to the person's webpage. Sometimes I even scroll at the beginning. So the person actually has the feeling that I went there and I'm speaking from being there. So I do that, and I do 30 to 40 of those a day, and then I send them together with the emails. So I do the videos, I stitch them together using CapCut. So I stitch the talking head and the screen recording using CapCut, and then I upload them to Loom. So that takes some time, but I guess it's worth it. So I do that and I upload it to this Loom software, and then from there I start sending my emails. And let me talk about the results that I've gotten from cold email. So when I first started, I was getting very few replies and very few opens and everything. But with time, I started refining my subject line, started refining the body. Started watching more videos about how to write cold emails, how to get people to reply, how to do pattern interrupting, all this kind of stuff. And so I actually came up with some ways to improve my copy, improve this subject line, and I started getting more views on the Loom. So I think right now about more than 100 people have viewed the Looms that I've sent. and I've made about I think 1,300 looms now. That I've made a lot, but I've been able to increase like the view rates at least, and that to me is amazing. So I improved my emails, I improved my copy, and then people started viewing the looms more and more. And basically, of all the looms, at the end of the looms, I always say, "Will you like to book a call with me?" Blah 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 blah. And for most of the people I sent, they didn't immediately like reply. So the first sales call I got, because I actually got a sales call in this period, it was when I had outreach to a person the first time, and then the person I followed her up like 2 times. Then she now replied for the first time, and then because now she had replied, I knew that because of what Charlie Morgan said on YouTube, I could now outreach to her like 10 more times. I could follow her up like 10 more times so that she could remember that I exist and book a call with me. So at the end of the day, I started following up with her. I followed up with her like 7 times. No, more than 7 times, sorry. I followed up with her like up to 10 times. And I reached the limits of what I'm going to follow up with her with. And usually when I'm following up, I usually like get the whole list of all the people I've outreached to, and I just follow them up. So if for each person I follow up like 6 times, as I said, or if someone replies to me once, then yes, I can follow up to 10 times. So I followed up this lady. And then around one of the last times that I was following her up, like the 9th or the 10th time, I was just like using my computer trying to do more outreach. And then I saw that she had booked a call with me. Like she actually wanted to talk. And I was so excited. So I prepared for the call now. I studied her agency, a coaching program. She was doing this meditation coaching. And so I studied everything. I studied her prices. I got a list of questions. I got the system that I'm going to sell to her and everything. Then I got on the call. And then it didn't go as I expected. Because when I first started like asking her some questions to understand what she wants, she said that she was actually looking for a salesperson. She's not looking for, because so me, I do AI automations, and she was actually looking for a salesperson. And immediately I saw that she was looking for a salesperson. I did not think that I should start like selling myself as a salesperson, because that was not the main thing that I had come here for. I had come here to sell my AI automation systems. So at the end of the day, I still showed her what I had for her, but then she was like, "No, I don't really want this. I want a salesperson." And then from there, I left the call because it wasn't the right fit. But then, even as I finished this call, I started wondering, okay, maybe I should have told her something related to sales so that when she finds a salesperson, she can still use my system. But whatever, I just continued. And then I think after some time, I got another call with a person. So this time, the calls were coming like 2 weeks in between, because when I first started outreach, I wouldn't even get any replies or any calls at all. But now, as soon as I got the first call, just a little while later, I got the second call. And so I got this call with this guy, I think he was doing electronics engineering coaching for people. And so I was supposed to get on the call with the guy, but then the guy, I will schedule a call. And then when the time reaches, he will just give some excuse that he's not going to be available. So we did that about 2 times. And then I was like, if you're actually interested in this thing, just hit me back. I can't keep like doing this back and forth. And then that's how that one ended. So those are the 2 calls I've gotten with from cold email. There was another one I got earlier, like a long time ago. That one was from LinkedIn. But these are the calls that I've been getting, and this way I'm moving. So recently, even as I've been continuing my outreach, about 2 days ago, just 2 days ago, I got someone who was like, "Hi, Izuchukwu, you can call me here." And then she basically gave me her US number so I could call her. But one thing I didn't want to do is that I don't have a US registered number. If not, I would have called her through that one. But all I have is Zoom calls and Google Meet calls, because if I call her through my Nigerian number, then this type of perception and everything now. So I wanted to just book a Zoom call with her. So I've sent her the link now, and hopefully she's going to reply. If not, I'm going to follow her up 10 times like I normally do. But that's basically what I'm doing, Sha. And now, and one thing happened actually, just this past week. So I have been sending cold emails. And remember, I told you in the beginning that I usually get my leads from Apollo, and then I get them from Apollo, and I use Apify to scrape them. So something happened. Usually when I'm Apollo, when Apify scrapes the leads for me, it usually gives me about 100. And so what I do is I type a location in the Apollo software. So I search for maybe coaching agencies in US. Then I scrape 100 from there. I go to coaching agencies in Canada, scrape another 100. So I usually do for US, Canada, Australia, and UK. And when I did all of them, it was like 400 contacts. And the thing is, even from those 400, some of them are not going to be like legit coaching agencies. So I'm going to have to remove them. So at the end, it's going to be like somewhere around 370 something. something like that. And I finished through all of them because, like I said, I sent like 30 to 40 emails every day. So now that they were finished, I didn't know what to do. Because if I start from the beginning, it would be too early from the first time I started outreaching to them. So that one is not going to work. And so what I did is that instead of putting the location as US and then scraping 100 from there, I had a thought that what if I start putting US states? So instead of putting location US, I put the location as Illinois, and I scrape 100 just from Illinois. Then I go to the next state, California, I scrape 100. And then I continue like that. So that means that since there are 50 states in the US, I can get 5,000 people just from there. And then I can go to Canada and do the same thing with their states. And then obviously I only check for the big cities now, the ones that have a lot of big businesses. But I can basically do that and get 100 leads per state. And so the reason I didn't even think about this before, because I thought that the only way to be able to get more leads from Apollo was to pay and get on their subscription. And that one is a wahala. So this was just an idea that came to my head, and I'll be able to do it. But I did it for, the first time I did it, it was for health and fitness coaches. And so I did it for health and fitness coaches. And the problem with that is that in Apollo, the category for health and fitness doesn't actually come out as health and fitness coaches. It just comes out as health and fitness. So if I get 500 leads now, like close to 50% of them are not going to be coaches. So they're not going to fit what I want to offer them. So they're not going to be open to it. So I'm going to have to start eliminating all these people one by one, and it takes a lot of time. So I was managing with these health and fitness guys now, and I was managing them for like about a week. And a big problem that I saw is that I would send like 60 emails, and then out of 60 emails, I only get 2 views of my looms. So you can see the problem here. I'll take time to do that that complex editing that I used to do. That I will record a talking head, record their screen, patch them together in CapCut, send it to them, and I will do 60 of these things, and I will only get 2 views. So the thing now made me start thinking like, what's happening with this cold email thing now? What can I do to improve it? And at the point, it was getting very frustrating. And at the same time that this was happening, remember I told you that I use Loom to upload the videos that I'm sending to these people. Loom subscription is $18. And the time I did it last month, I had to like get some money from my brother and from some other people. And so now the subscription is going to end in like 4 days from now as I speak. And if I don't like subscribe again, then all those videos I had they're going to take them off. I'm going to have to start uploading only about 25 videos, which is just useless basically. And this thought of Loom expiring and me not being able to get enough views to the emails that I was sending at the time made me very frustrated. And this is when a new thought came to my head. I was like, this cold email thing is not working. Let me look for something else. And the thing I landed on was Upwork. And the reason why Upwork appealed to me is because the guy that I'm learning automations from on YouTube, he actually recommends Upwork for people who are just starting out. And then I had this idea that, oh my God, this Upwork it could actually work out for me. So I went to YouTube and I started watching a video from the guy on how you can apply on Upwork, set up your profile, blah, blah, blah. And I was just watching and I was like, wow, there's so many amazing things. And there are actually amazing things about Upwork. Because number one, when you're doing cold email, you're just sending to random people who may not even know what automation is, or they may not understand why they need it. And then they may not understand why it's you that is going to give it to them. Whereas someone who is on Upwork, who posted a job, like, I need this specific automation and I need to do this thing for me. Then the person obviously knows about automation, then he knows what he wants, and all you have to do is position yourself as the one that is going to do it for them. And so I was so excited seeing all these benefits now, seeing that Upwork is this amazing platform. I could just apply. I don't have to be doing this cold email thing. Sorry, I had to go and do something. So I was looking at Upwork and I was checking it out and I was loving it, and in my mind, I was like, yes, this is where I'm going to get my first clients from. I just need to calm down and understand it and start setting up everything. And so what I did is 2 days ago, I even recorded a video introduction like this for Upwork because it's part of the things. I started setting up the whole profile. I had done everything. And one of the things that even made me even more interested in this thing was that there's this stuff called Upwork Freelance Plus. So it's like their subscription plan for Upwork. So if you subscribe to it, you basically get all this kind of advantages, all these kind of small perks that people get from when they subscribe to the platform. So for example, if you subscribe to it, instead of getting just 10 connects a month, so connects what you use to apply for a job. So instead of getting just 10 connects every month, you'll be able to get 100 connects. So that's very attractive. And then you get so many other benefits. And the thing that was pulling my head into this thing is that because I was new to the platform, instead of having to pay $20 for the freelance plus, I had to pay just $10. And it looked so attractive, so amazing. But then, of course, after some time, I started thinking that the reason why I'm so excited about this Upwork is that I've not actually made cold email to work. And then this is just like a proxy for me to run to it. And one thing I started thinking is that let me play this Upwork stuff out. Instead of looking at just the advantage now, let me play it out. If I pay the $10 and I get my 100 connects and I start applying to jobs, each job requires an average of 14 connects to apply to. And another thing is that because I am new and I have no Upwork reviews, I'm going to have to bid some connects so that I can rank higher than some other people. Because if not, I have no competitive advantage. There's nobody that is going to take a chance on just one guy that he's new, he doesn't have any experience, and then he's just there wanting to do a job for you. So I realized that for me to actually make it work, I'm going to have to spend like 14 connects for every job, probably bid some connects, like maybe 10 connects for each job. And then in addition to that, I'm going to have to spend time applying for each job with a proposal and everything. And the thing with this is that, yes, I can make Upwork work. I know that if I put energy and I focus on it for a very long time, yes, it can work. But the problem is that if I started it and then after some time, after like 1 month, I apply, and then I don't get anybody, I'll feel frustrated. And then I also feel frustrated because I left the former one I was doing, the cold email, to come and do Upwork. And then this one did not work again. So I just realized that at the end of the day, the grass is not as green as I expect it to be. And so about one day, I just decided that I'm not going to keep pursuing the Upwork stuff. I'm going to stay on the cold email and see how I can fix the various problems that I had. So let me just list the problems that I had with cold email and how I was able to fix them. So number one was the no replies. I was not getting any views. Sorry, not replies, but views. I was not getting as many views on my looms as I wanted. So what I did is that I went to my lead list. So I told you that I had all this health and fitness coaching, all these health and fitness people, and most of them were not coaches. So what I did is I'm going to, instead of searching for health and fitness people on Apollo, I'll just go back to the professional training coaches that I was visiting before. And then I'll look for them on Apollo, and then I'll scrape them with Amplify, and I'll use the same state by state method I use. So instead of being only able to scrape 100 people for US, I'll be able to scrape 100 people, but for each state in the US, so that I get like 5,000 people. And then because all of them are inside the professional training and coaching niche, I don't have to spend so much time like qualifying and removing people. So even though the view rates may not be as high as when I first started, because those were the time when all the leads were fresh and they were relevant. Even though the view rates will not be as good as that time, I will not be wasting time spending time to qualify the leads that I have. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to make it as clear as I can. So this is just what I'm doing. And then the second problem was the loan problem. So I told you that I was getting very frustrated because in about 4 days from now, my loan subscription is going to end. Then I'm not going to have a way to send to these business owners. So I started thinking of other platforms that I could use to post my videos now that I had made for them. And one of the ones that came to mind was YouTube Unlisted. So I just post it on YouTube, but I don't make it public. But the problem with that is that if you put a YouTube link in an email, it's not going to preview. And the thing I loved about Loom links is that they usually did a preview whenever I posted a link there. So the client can see that he can already see me and his website there. So he's going to be more likely to click. But I didn't know what to do to make the YouTube links work. And so eventually I went to some software, some repeat software. I was trying to build like a way to make the link to preview. I was trying to build like a mini app or whatever. So I was trying a lot of things, but then at the end of the day, I just came upon a solution, a very simple solution. I just go to Chrome. I go to a Chrome extension and I download this Chrome extension that is specifically meant to make URL links to preview. So it's called, I think URL link preview from Cloud. I think it's Cloudflare or something. I don't know. But it's just this Chrome extension that makes the links that you post to preview. And so I used it and I saw that it was working. And I was so happy because I knew that I'd solved this problem that I was having with cold email. And now I could keep on doing the volume that I was doing before. So that's what I'm doing. And then another thing, the last thing I wanted to solve is remember I told you that I've gotten about 100 views on my looms now. So I've gotten about 100 views. And the problem that I'm having with that is that the conversion rate is not as high as I wanted it to be. So I realized that maybe the problem is with my offer, the way I'm delivering the looms. Maybe I'm not delivering it as well as I can. So here's what I did. I went back to that guy, to a guy I watch on YouTube. So I watched 2 people on YouTube for client acquisition, and that is Charlie Morgan and then Nick Sarive. So this Nick Sarive is the AI automation guy that told me about Upwork. So I learned something from there. I learned that instead of ending my Loom videos with something like, would you like to book a call with me? Then just reply yes to this email, and then you book a call with me. That's how I used to end before. And the problem is that most people, especially coaches, they have seen that thing a lot of times. They can just see it from a mile away. Okay, this person wants to use my time to sell me something and blah blah blah. So instead of doing that, he suggested something different, which I also want to test, which is that at the end of the loom, you just say, if you want to get started, then just reply with a thumbs up, and then I'm going to send you a full action plan with all the templates I'm going to use for this system. Then I'll give it to you and your team for free so that you can review it. And then if you're interested, we can work together from there, and then blah blah blah. So it's just meant to show them that you can build this thing. Yeah, so instead of asking for a call up front, you're giving them value up front so that they can see your value, and then hopefully they're going to be very wowed. And then they'll tell you that let's get on the call and blah blah blah. So that's just what I'm doing now, and I just finished recording the new Loom video I'll use before I start recording this YouTube video, and I'm going to test it out. I'm going to test you my 30 emails to 40 emails a day, and I'll see how it works. The bottom line of this outreach grind I'm doing is just that there's a lot of uncertainty. That's the truth. There's a lot of uncertainty. Every day you wake up and you're sending, just mindlessly typing on your keyboard, type, send. And you don't know where a client is going to come from. And so the key is just learning to sit in the uncertainty and keep on doing what I'm supposed to do. And it's really exciting. So I'm going to be giving the updates as I keep going, and hopefully I'm going to get the clients as fast as I can. Thanks for watching. And if you like this channel, make sure to subscribe and just check out this other video here. Thanks for watching.